Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today we're looking at Unit 44, issue number 5. This is by Alterna Comics. And yes, this is a brand new comic. Look at that. June 2022, and it's only $1.99. How could you go wrong? I got issue number 4. It was fine. It was good. Yeah, I wasn't spectacular. I enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of funny. But then issue 5 came out. And I don't know what it was, but I just had a big smile on my face reading this. First off, I want to talk about Alterna Comics is owned by this guy named Pete Samedi. And he said a couple of, I don't know, like a year ago, he was having problems with the printer. So he switched printers. And where did he go? I don't know. It's like Oz, Wonderland, Narnia, because these comics are the best quality comic books coming out now in the American comic book industry. You can't get better colors, you can't get better printing. Oh my god. And it's only $1.99. DC, Marvel, you guys are sleeping. You know, get Pete Samedi to publish your comic. Well, I'm sure he doesn't want to. He wants to publish his own comics, but you know what I'm saying. Fine, you know, these comics are such high quality. I love the paper. I never thought I'd be raving about paper and printing qualities before, but there you go. And it's glorious newsprint. Oh, it looks like the comics of my youth, but better. So there you go. That's talking about the paperwork. So Unit 44. What's the conceit of this? It's these two guys, Hatch and Gibbons, and they're like the Men in Black. And I kind of find the premise a little stupid. They ran out of room to store all of these alien artifacts, so they got a storage unit, Unit 44. And then they're idiots, they're bumbling idiots, and they forgot to pay the bill. So it went into auction. So they spent the rest of this, they're going after all of these artifacts. I did like the resolution to issue number 4. The first 4 issues was one big story. I found issue 4 kind of redeemed what I didn't like about it. I especially when they go into their headquarters and you see these vast empty tracts of space. It's like, why couldn't they put the stuff there? You know, if it fit in a tiny storage unit. So they got, if you ask me, he's got to explain why they didn't want that stuff in their base. And I know it's supposed to be humorous, and I know you're not supposed to nitpick, but I'm a obsessive comic book guy. We nitpick. That's what we do. And I will say, I still get the comics. I still like the comics. So here you go. But this was by far light years ahead of the other issues. And let's go. So let's open it up. And we got a cool ad. What is that? Redva Val. I can't even pronounce that. To me, that's a shame when you print out something and I can't even pronounce it. If you can't pronounce something, to me, you don't have like an emotional bond to it. You got to make your words pronounceable. So we'll already look at the indicia video we know. 2020. Okay. And here we have a 5-panel grid. I'm a big fan of the 5-panel grid. You could just rearrange it so many different ways to make it dynamic. And this is their headquarters. You know, and here's the head of the Men in Black agency, and they're going off on they're ready to, what does it say? Pies Rock. Yeah, he wants to go to a pie eating contest. You know, it's goofy. And he's like, you got to go and investigate this. There's a cult going on. And he's like, why are we investigating a cult? Because, you know, it's all aliens. He's like, go. So now they're driving off to the cult, and it's just, they don't get along. He's a hard ass. He's a moron. Although they're both are morons. But he's a weakling moron, and he's a hard ass, you know. And I don't even want to say like a hard ass with a heart of gold, because he's kind of just a jerk through and through. Best friends. Earth's best friends. Okay, that looks pretty interesting. And they're going to the house where the cult is, and he's just like, ring the door. You know, he's always like, let's talk. You know, he's good cop, he's bad cop. That, you know, that's a good way to explain. And he's always like, let's talk. We'll use common sense. We'll use reason to get things through. And he's always like, he gets impatient, so he just smashes the door down. So this panel just pretty much tells you all you need to know about these two characters. And when you go in there, here's the cult. And this guy's like, hey, my dudes, how you doing? You know, get yourself a brews. And he's just like yelling, I can't hear you over the music. He's like, have some brews. You know, I can't hear you with the... Oh, yeah, he's pretending that he can't hear you. He's like, I can't hear you, dude. Not without a drink in your hand. And it's a kegger. So they're just like, what the hell? And he's like, yeah, this ain't so bad. And what are they doing? They're playing like pong and volleyball and inside. So it's what's this? Bullets, bourbon. Oh, that looks pretty interesting. So they're just hanging out talking. He's eating popcorn, munchies, you know. I'm sure they're like behind the scenes. It looks like they toked up, you know, and it turns out this guy is super charming. Again, he's a cult leader. You have to be super charming. And the cult is a frat. And I just thought that was so freaking funny. It just made me right over here. I was like, this is my favorite issue by far. I'm going to showcase this. So they're just talking about this guy, what's going on in the cult, and he's like, hey, there's only 1 hour left before the big moment. Thank you, number 12. He's like, hey, what can we do? It's like, oh, meteor's coming. You know, meteor's going to come cross between the Earth and everything, and the light reflects the moon, making the moon appear red. And if excuse me, I'm going to go get the game started while we prepare. You guys seem mad cool. I hope you'll participate. And he's doing like the finger guns. He's like, what's going on? What do we do? And he's like, I like it. I feel like we should totally go party with some. Look at their eyes. They're all stoned. Yeah, party games, right, Marcus? Totally. And they're into it. They're doing Twister. They're playing, you know, what was that? Beer pong. Spin the bottle. You know, put them. Instead of a pin the tail on donkey, the knife on the cultist. Music's playing, and they're just having a dynamite time. I don't know why I thought this was so amusing. It's just so funny to me. There we got some hot chicks with big old boobies. Got my attention because I'm a red-blooded, normal American male. Check out toniccomics.com. I guess I'll check that out after I make this video. And look, they're dancing to all hours, playing more. Table tennis or what ping pong. I couldn't think of the word. What is this? Oh, they're playing like pinata games, and they're ready. Am I Marshall? What is that word? Apple. Oh, I am Marshall Applewhite. He's like, yes, and here we're drinking, and he goes to the bathroom. He's like, oh no, and he realizes he's wearing robes. He's like, when did he change it to robes? He's like, dude, because look at what you're wearing. He says, so what? I like sharp and blue. He goes, Marcus tricked us. We joined the cult. Like, they didn't even realize they joined the cult. And the heebie-jeebies. I don't know what that is. Okay. Because I like lots of things. You're just jealous of Marcus. I'm not being ridiculous. Oh, I'm being ridiculous. And now they're fighting. He goes, well, Bruce Willis' character was dead throughout the entirety of The Sixth Sense. Oops, spoiler. He's like, oh no. He got to us. Like, he realized he crossed the line. He goes, I know what we got to do. She's like, hey, cool guys, you guys ready? The festivities are about to begin. The comet's about to enter in, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, you got it, dude. And they change back into their Men in Black outfits. They're sneaking around. They're looking for clues. They're looking for everything. He's like, how did he trick us? Meanwhile, he just tricked them by being charming. And, you know, that's the reason why frats last for so long. I was never a frat guy. Little maybe too much information, but I'm not a joiner. And I think that's one of the things about comic book fans. Like, it's a solo activity. It's one of the reasons why I made this channel, because I moved and I didn't know anybody in my new town, and I wanted to talk to people about comics. But let's face it, when you're an adult, it's hard to make new friends. So I just moved to a new town. I wanted to talk comics, so I started a YouTube channel, and you guys are talking to me. So you fill in my niche. And so I was never much of a joiner. When I went to college, my roommate joined a fraternity. And so I met a bunch of the fraternity guys. They were good guys. I had no problems with them. And they was like, man, you're so cool. You should join the fraternity. And at the same time, I was watching my roommate, like, he had to dress a certain way. He couldn't talk to me for like 2 weeks. You know, we lived together, and the guy couldn't talk to me. And I was just like, and then like, they would insult them, like when they did come around, they're like, pledge so and so, yeah. And I was just like, dude, you got to be insulted and made fun of and conform to just to hang out with guys. I'm like, look at me, I got 1 million friends in college, and I don't have to be insulted. I don't have to conform. I could be who I want. They like me for, you know. And I always found that to be cult-like, creepy behavior. So this comic, boom, it just got me. You know, I always like this. So there you go. I'm not much of a joiner. I don't join clubs. I don't join organizations. I don't like political parties. I like to be an individual. You know, I don't like collectivism. I don't like communism. I don't like anything that they tell you, like organized religion. It's not for me. There you go. Pretty controversial. Sorry if you subscribed. You know, good for you if you like it. I'm not one of those jerks that need to make you. I'm an individualist, and I want you to do what you want. How's that? Okay, so there you go. So now these guys are like, whoa, but I do admit, the frats are fun. You know, I hung out with a couple of these guys. I never joined, but they were good guys, but, you know, and it was fun. lot of chicks always hanging out at the frat house. So now they were like discussing what they're gonna do, and they go out there and everybody's dead. They all drank the Kool-Aid, they all drank the beer, you know, the kegger. The blood moon party is now. So them bickering saved their lives. They're like, what's going on? Let's get out of it. And there's the meteor, and it's like, we just witnessed a room full of dead bodies, and you're hungry? Yes. Is that a crime? And he's like, don't be sure about that. Pull over. My goodness, Gibson, it's beautiful. And now they're finally getting the pies. I know. I just thought this was a fun comic, a fun issue, a fun story. One shot, by far. There's only 5 issues. By far, this was the best issue in the series, and I am totally looking forward to the next issue now. I thought it was great. Printing is great, and here's just a little one-page little story about he keeps joking that his toaster was spying on him, so now he's interrogating his toaster. Amusing story. Here's some ads for. Oh, I thought this was Alterna for a second, but it's I don't know what it is. Phantom Inc. That's a pretty name, cool for a comic. And this is a reprint of the first 4 issues in the Unit 44 Giant. So, excuse me. This you could go right to Alterna Comics, their website, and pick it up, or you could get the 4 issues, whatever you got. I got them both because I just pledge to the Alterna. They do seasonal campaigns, and that's the easiest way and the cheapest way to get their comics. And you know, it's carefree. I just pledge once, forget about it, and then I never check the updates. I'm bad about that stuff. I'm very patient about getting stuff in the mail. It's I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because I've been screwed a few times with like Kickstarters. All of a sudden I realized that like I haven't gotten something for years, and then I'm like, oh, you forgot to fill out your pledge manager. I'm like, oh God. Or there was a survey, and I'm like, oh my God, you know. So now I'm getting something. Like I'm seeing other people playing with a game for years before I go, where's mine? I paid for this. So there you go. So maybe it's a flaw, but there you go. So I'm ranting and raving, so that means it's time to end this, and we'll look at the so here's you actually cut this out, and there's stamps in each comic. There's stamps, and you cut these out and you mail them to Alterna, and they'll send you like a blanket or something like that. I'm so torn because I want that, but I don't want to cut up my comics. Pete, you're torturing me, Pete. You're killing me, Pete. And here's this pretty cool ad. I didn't look at this before. Oh, that's pretty cool. I got to read that, see what it is. So there you go. Unit 44. It started off rocky. I like the conclusion to the 4-part story, and I really love this issue. Okay, I'm looking forward to issue 6. You got me. You got me, Wes. All right, see ya. I don't know what else to say, but thanks a lot. I'll see you tomorrow with another video, and you guys, you got great comments. I really love the comments. Thanks a lot, guys. And I'm going today. Today is a Saturday. Woke up early because I wake up early, and when my wife wakes up, I'm taking her out for breakfast, and then I'm gonna go mail out those the contest winners. I'm sorry that it took so long, everybody, but I have just been crazy between home repairs and long hours at work. So I apologize for that. But thank you for participating in the contest. It was fun for me. It was a little spur of the moment thing. And thank you for everybody living in America, so I don't have to mail stuff overseas. My own stupid fault for not thinking things through. But it worked out. Thanks a lot. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.